what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 17, I believe. It's day 17 or day 16 of my Dead Palettes walking series, where I'm using one of my old palettes every day for 25 days this month instead of like buying a new palette, even though I want all of them. Not all of them. I do want new palettes. I'm just not buying them. But yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the series that I was probably going to end up having to double up on some palettes just because of the fact that I don't really have 25 truly dead palettes in my collection. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think I have like 25 palettes. Today we are going to be once again doing the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, the original palette. I've mentioned I did not get the Vault palettes. I swatched them. I didn't really like the texture of them. So this one, however, I love the formula of. I don't know why they veered off course here. They had a really good thing going with this formula. Morphe, what are you doing? You didn't have to reinvent the wheel, you know? You had a good formula. You should have just kept it, but no, they couldn't do that, could they? Just make too much sense for some people. Talked about this palette before and how much I really, really love this palette. I just get so much use out of it, to be perfectly honest. Every time I travel, it's really like the only palette that I take, like when I go home to visit my family. But yeah, I wanted to do this palette more than once in the series because I feel like with giant palettes like this, one tutorial doesn't really do them justice, especially when there's 4,000 shades to use. And I wanted to do something more like punk inspired with this tutorial. I have used this palette for like punk inspired looks in the past, which I ended up really loving. Like I said, I mean, I honestly cannot say enough good things about this palette. Honestly, I don't think this palette is ever going to truly die, in my opinion, because I just love it so much, but everybody else like has forgotten about it because they've moved on to bigger and better things. And I don't know, I just didn't think this palette really needed to be improved upon. So, and now we have the Vault. That's how we get the Vault, guys, when we try to fix something that's not broken. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna go ahead and start the tutorial. Alright, so I'm going to go into the shade Silk Cream with a synthetic fluffy brush. And I'm going to put that in my crease. I can pretty much put it on my brow bone. Anywhere I'm going to need help blending, right there, because my eyes have like pretty deep sockets. So I really need all the help I can get when it comes to blending stuff out in my crease, especially when I go in with the darker shades like I'm about to. Well, darker shade. Then I'm going to go into the shade Sodapop with this little Morphe M506 brush, and I'm going to start by packing that on my outer corner, or basically like the outer third of my eye, just the darkest part of the shadow. And then as I get less product on my brush, I'll kind of start to fade that in towards the center of my eye and just barely shape that at an angle on my outer corner of my eyes, the outer Pac-Man of my eye. See, it's like a Pac-Man. It's just my eyelid is the ghost. Do you see? Outer V never made any sense to me. It took me forever to figure out why people call it an outer V, because it doesn't make any damn sense if you ask me, because there is no V there. That is a Pac-Man. That's an angle bracket, whatever you want to call it. It ain't no damn V. Since when do people write their V's sideways? Okay, I'm sorry. So anyway, here I am blending it out towards the center of my eye, just fading it in as I go, as I get less product on my brush, making that angle. Not going to blend it too far into my crease though. So then I'm going to go into the shade Pool Party with a wet shading brush, and I'm going to paint that quite literally on the inner part of my eyelid up to my crease, and then I'm going to carve it out into my crease. This isn't really a cut crease. Cut creases do not look good on me. They just don't really work on me because my eyes are so deep set that you don't actually see the cut crease. It makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, packing that on. And then I'm going to go back in with that little blending brush, and I'm just going to fuse those two shades together by using my brush at an angle. If you can see, I'm using the side of my brush, like the bristles are vertical against my eyelid, trying to blend that out. Basically, I didn't go past my crease with any part of this look, but I'm also not blending it too far up. This is not going to be a super blended out look. Then I'm going to go onto my lower lid, same exact thing, wet brush. I'm actually using what was left over on my brush, if you can believe it, dragging it right into the center there and onto the inner corner of my eye. Going to go back into Sodapop with a little pencil brush and just follow that angle that I've started on the top. I don't want to go too far down, especially since I'm going to have to go back in and blend that out. So while it may not look like I have a lot on my lower lash line, once I blend it out, it will definitely fade a little bit more seamlessly into the top. Just gonna put some finishing touches on that little shape that I've managed to create there on my outer corner. And then of course, once again, gonna take that tiny little blending brush back to the lower lash line and blend it out just a tiny bit. Again, this isn't like some super diffused, blended out glam look. This just has a little bit of a fuzzy edge, not too intricate or anything. And that is the finished look without mascara. As always, I think it helps to see what it looks like before I put mascara on. And of course, I had to add a little bit more green, teal, whatever you want to call it. Touch it up a little bit right there. Going into that shade right there in the top left-hand corner. I'm taking a really dense brush, putting it on my inner corner, and then tiny bit on my brow bone there. That is the finished look.
It was up at Mike's the other night. That was really quite a sight. You gather around, folks, I give you all the lowdown. It's a mess, too. Tables were filled with gaudy frails chewing on their fingernails. They were waiting for the man from Harvard.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber and you want to be, please hit that button on the way out. I will also link my Instagram in the description box if you would like to follow me on there. I will go ahead and tell you right now, I don't post a lot. I tend to neglect my Instagram from time to time. I go through phases where I like Instagram and where I just don't. I don't know. I do the same thing with like every social media, Facebook, Reddit. I just go through phases with all of them. I like them, I don't, I like them, I don't, I don't know. Anyway, I will also link my Patreon if you would like to become a patron of mine. Aside from that, I will see y'all tomorrow for my next Dead Palette Walking. Later, guys.